Hi, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in to a little bit more of Crenshaw. We are on chapter 5, page 21. The first time I met Crenshaw was about 3 years ago, right after first grade ended. It was early evening, and my family and I had parked at a rest stop off of a highway. I was lying on the grass near a picnic table, gazing up at the stars, blinking to life. I heard a noise, a wheels on gravel skateboard sound. I sat up on my elbows. Sure enough, a skater on a board was threading his way through the parking lot. I could see right away that he was an unusual guy. He was a black and white kitten, a big one, taller than me. His eyes were the sparkly color of morning grass. He was wearing a black and orange San Francisco Giants baseball cap. He hopped off his board and headed my way. He was standing on two legs, just like a human. Meow, he said. Meow, I said back because it seemed polite. He leaned close and sniffed my hair. Do you have any purple jelly beans? I jumped to my feet. It was his lucky day. I just happened to have two purple jelly beans in my jeans pocket. They were a little smushed, but we each ate one anyway. I told the cat my name was Jackson. He said, "Of course, yes, it is." I asked him what his name was. He asked what did I want his name to be. It was a surprising question, but I had already figured out he was a surprising guy. I thought for a while. It was a big decision. People care a lot about names. Finally, I said, Crenshaw would be a good name for a cat, I think. He didn't smile because cats don't smile, but I could tell he was pleased. Crenshaw it is, he said. Chapter 6. I don't know where I got the name Crenshaw. No one in my family has ever known a Crenshaw. We don't have any Crenshaw relatives or Crenshaw friends or Crenshaw teachers. I'd never been to Crenshaw, Mississippi, or Crenshaw, Pennsylvania, or Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles. I'd never read a book about Crenshaw or seen a TV show with Crenshaw in it. Somehow, Crenshaw just seemed right. Everybody in my family was named after somebody or something else. My dad was named after his grandpa. My mom was named after her aunt. My sister and I weren't even named after people. We were named after guitars. I was named after my dad's guitar. It was designed by a manufacturer called Jackson. My sister was named after the company that made my mom's guitar. My parents used to be musicians. Starving musicians is what my mom calls it. After I was born, they stopped being musicians and became normal people. Since they'd run out of instruments, my parents named our dog after a famous singer called Aretha Franklin. That was after Robin wanted to name her Fairy Princess Cutie Pie, and I wanted to call her Dog. At least our middle names came from people and not instruments. Orson and Maribel were my dad's uncle and my mom's great-grandma. Those folks are dead, so I don't know if they're good names or not. Dad says his uncle was a charming curmudgeon, which I think means grumpy with some niceties thrown in, or some niceness thrown in. Honestly, another middle name might have been better. A brand new one that wasn't already used up. Maybe that's why I liked the name Crenshaw. It felt like a blank piece of paper before you draw on it. It's an anything is possible kind of name. Chapter 7. I don't exactly remember how I felt about Crenshaw the day we met. It was a long time ago. I don't remember lots of stuff about what happened when I was young. I don't remember being born or learning to walk or wearing diapers, which is probably not something that you want to remember anyway. Memory is weird. I remember getting lost at the grocery store when I was 4, but I don't remember getting found by my mom and dad who were yelling and crying at the same time. I only know that part because they told it to me. I remember when my little sister first came home, but I don't remember trying to put her in a box so that we could mail her back to the hospital. My parents enjoy telling people that story. I'm not even sure why Crenshaw was a cat and not a dog or an alligator or a Tyrannosaurus Rex with 3 heads. When I try to remember my whole life, it feels like a Lego project when you're missing some of the important pieces, like a robot minifigure or a monster truck wheel. You do the best that you can to put things together, but you know it's not quite like the picture on the box. It seems like I should have thought to myself, wow, a cat is talking to me. And that is not something that usually happens at a highway rest stop. But all I remember thinking is how great it was to have a friend who liked purple jelly beans as much as I did. Chapter 8. A couple of hours after the mysterious jelly bean appearance during cereal ball, my mom gave Robin and me a grocery bag. She said they were for our keepsakes. A bunch of our things were going to be sold at a yard sale on Sunday, except for important stuff like shoes and mattresses and a few dishes. My parents were hoping to make enough money to pay some back rent and maybe the water bill too. Robin asked, "What is a keepsake?" My mom said, "It's an object you treasure." And then she said, "Things don't really matter as long as we have each other." I asked what were her keepsakes and Dad's. And she said probably their guitars would be at the top of the list and maybe books because those were always important. Robin said she would bring her Lyle book for sure. My sister's favorite book in the world is The House on East 88th Street. It's about a crocodile named Lyle who lives with his family. Lyle likes to hang out in the bathtub and walk the dog. Robin knows every word of that book by heart. Later, at bedtime, my dad read the Lyle book to Robin. I stood at her bedroom door and listened to him reading. He and my mom and Robin and Aretha were all squished on her mattress. It was on the floor. The wooden parts were going to be sold. "Come join us, Jackson," my mom said. "There's lots of room." My dad is tall and so is my mom, and Robin's mattress is tiny. There wasn't any room. "I'm good," I said, looking at my family, all there together. I felt like a relative from out of town, like I belonged to them, but not as much as they belonged to each other. Partly that was because they looked so much alike, blonde and gray-eyed and cheerful. My hair and eyes are darker, and sometimes so is my mood. Emptied out, it didn't look like Robin's room anymore, except for her pink lamp and the marks on the wall that showed how much she had grown, and the red spot on the carpet where she'd spilled cranberry apple juice. Robin was practicing her t-ball batting, and she got a little carried away. "Swish, swash, splash, sploosh," read my dad. "Not sploosh," Robin said. "Smoosh, splish, swash?" "Stop being silly," she said. She poked him in the chest. "It's swoosh, swoosh, I tell you." I said that I did not think that a crocodile would enjoy taking a bath. I just read a whole library book about reptiles. My dad told me to go with the flow. "Did you know that you can hold a crocodile's jaw closed with a rubber band?" I asked. My dad smiled. I wouldn't want to have been the first person who tested that theory. Robin asked my mom if I had a favorite book when I was little. She didn't ask me because she was pouting about my bathtub comment. My mom said, "Jackson really liked A Hole is to Dig." Remember that book, Jackson? We must have read that to you a million times. "That's more like a dictionary than a made-up story," I said. "A brother is to help you," my mom said, which was a line from the book. "A brother is to bug you," said Robin, which was not a line from the book. "A sister is to drive you slowly insane," I replied. The sun was beginning to set. The sky was tiger-colored with stripes of black clouds. "I have to get my stuff ready for the yard sale," I said. Hey, stick around, dude, said my dad. I'll read A Hole is to Dig, assuming we can find it, that is. I'm way too old for that book, I said, even though it was the first thing I put in my keepsake's bag. Lyle, one more time, Robin said. Please, 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 please. Dad, I asked, did you buy some purple jelly beans? Nope. Then where did they come from? The ones in Robin's T-ball cap. It doesn't make any sense. Well, Robin went to Kylie's birthday party yesterday, said my mom. Did you get them there, Sweet Pea? Nope, Robin said. Kylie hates jelly beans. And anyway, I told you that they were magic, Jackson. There's no such thing as magic, I said. Music is magic, said my mom. Love is magic, said my dad. Rabbits in a hat are magic, said Robin. I would put Krispy Kreme donuts in the magic category, said my dad. How about the smell of the new baby? Asked my mom. Kittens are magic, Robin yelled. Indeed, said my dad, scratching Aretha's ear. And don't forget dogs. They were still going at it when I shut the door. All right, we're going to pause there. Tune in next time. We'll start on chapter 9. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can get more readings about Crenshaw.